As always, you're going to start by grabbing the safety glasses that belong to your station and putting them on. Make sure when you put them back that you put them with the black side down, number facing out, please. Nice. Now, part 3 of the Springboard is going to be using the buffer, which is this 2 cotton wheeled buffer that I have set up right here. What you're gonna find is I'm gonna show you how you're gonna pull this through on the bottom half. So if you think of right here, I always want to keep a hold of this right down here, and I'm going to pull this through the bottom half of the buffer. That way if I lose my grip, because it's going to spin this direction, it would end up falling to the floor. So once again, I'm going to pull through the bottom of the buffer. Now, what's going to happen is I'm going to have both palms facing up. So I'm going like this, pinching my thumb and index finger, pinching my thumb and index finger. I'm going to pull through the bottom half of the wheel, straight at 90 degrees, 45, 45. I do 3 passes per side. And I'm going to pull it with the same pressure that I showed you pushing your hand against your hand when I showed you how to electric sand. Now, one person can be here, one person can be here. So 2 people can be buffing at the same time. They're the same wheels. But you're going to turn it on, making sure you have all your hair, jacket, all that stuff tied back. I hold it between my thumb and index fingers. I pull through the middle. 1, 45 degrees 2, 45 degrees 3. I flip it over. 1 through the middle, 45 degrees, 45 degrees. I go to the end. 1, 2 at 45, 3 at 45. I flip it over. 1, 2, 3. I don't polish it any more than that, but you'll notice it starts to get nice and shiny and smooth. If nobody's behind me, once again, I turn the buffer off. Watch it come to a complete stop. So the first part of part 3 is buffing my Springboard. The second part of part 3 is going to be to drill the hole. Now, when you're done buffing, make sure you take the dustpan and you bend down and you sweep up all the little shavings, because a bunch of the kind of cotton wheel likes to come off. But make sure you're cleaning that all up. Make sure you use the vacuum to vacuum up the mess behind the buffer itself. Along with the dustpan, cleaning up the floor, making sure that you take the dustpan and that you put it in the trash can. Now, once you have this all buffed, you're going to come down to drill press number 4 to drill the hole. What you want to notice is this bit is a cone shape, which means one side of the hole is going to be bigger than the other, which means we're going to drill it down on one side, clean up our mess, drill it down on the other side to make the hole the same on both sides. The other thing to pay attention to is there's this wooden block, and you go all the way down till that stops. So once again, make sure you're going all the way down till that stops. So when I go to drill, I'm going to turn this vacuum on. So I start by lining up. As best I can that drill bit in the center. I then turn the vacuum on, turn the drill press on, I hold down with a nice firm left hand, and I drill all the way down. Don't stop, and back up. I turn it off. You'll see all this plastic. When I push it off, it gets cleaned up. Always make sure this table is nice and clean. So I drill down on one side, I'm going to flip it over, I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to drill down till it stops. On the other side. I then go up, turn that vacuum off, turn the drill press off, watch it come to a complete stop. Now, if I need to clean more of the table off, turn the vacuum back on, clean off the table. Once again, I'm going to grab the dustpan. I'm going to go back behind the drill press. I'm going to go under the drill press, cleaning up all that plastic dust off the table, which means it's going to fall to the floor. I once again come back. I take this once again to the nearest trash can and I throw that dust away. Now that I have my mess all cleaned up and I have my hole drilled on both sides, so it's the same size hole on both sides, I would take this along with my other pieces and I would start on step 10, assembly.